Welcome back to another episode of Spilling the Tea with the Henna Guys. I'm Henna, and if you're new to our channels, for these series, we do reaction videos for people applying henna, hair dye, any herbs, all the natural stuff. If you know anyone with hair oil they're using, please bring it to me. I'd love to do those videos. Alright, so without further ado, we are just going to dive right in. This is Katie, and her video is called Henna Hair for Beginners, the healthy natural way to dye hair at home. Alright, let's get started.
Channels or on my vlog channel, you know that I have probably had most natural hair colors under the sun. I have had extremely dark hair that was borderline black. I have had platinum blonde hair, multiple levels of brown in between, and I have ventured into the more unnatural colors when my hair was blonde on bits and pieces of my hair. I don't think I ever dyed my entire head a fun color, but I think out of all of the colors I've ever colored my hair, my favorite of all time was red. Deep down inside, I want to be a redhead so badly.
Pretty.
I have wanted that my entire life. This is my natural hair color. I haven't colored it for probably a few years now. If I play in the sun enough, it actually pulls a little bit red, but I, alas, am not a redhead. But today, that changes. We are going to make me a redhead. So like I mentioned, I have actually colored my hair red in the past. When my hair was red, I could not take a shower without it bleeding out a little bit. And I think that's a pretty typical experience for most people who are not natural redheads. But there is one way to get red hair and have it not fade over time. And that way is coloring your hair with henna. It is considered probably one of the most permanent colors you can color your hair, and that's actually exactly why I wanted to give it a try. I want the red hair back, but I don't want it to fade. That's where henna comes in. For those of you who don't know, henna is literally just ground up leaves. Henna comes from the plant called Lawsonia intermis. I'm probably butchering that name, but that's where it comes from. And it has been used for thousands of years for body art and to color your hair.
Yes, henna has been used for thousands of years. People have used it for coloring hair, body art, henna tattoos, as well as coloring clothing. And also in the warmer climates, a lot of people use it as a cooling property. So what they do is, with an extreme heat, they apply the henna under their feet and it gives them a cooling effect. It's really cool.
It is not capable of lifting your hair color. You will not be able to bleach your hair with henna. It can only deposit color. So
with henna, you cannot go lighter. So if you have dark color hair, you cannot go lighter, but if you have light color hair, you can go darker. How henna works is it actually coats your hair follicles, and that's why your hair becomes more healthier.
Essentially stains your hair. So you can't be super dark brown and color your hair with henna and be strawberry blonde. That's not really how it works. It can only deposit color. It can only stain your hair color. But because of that, it's actually a really healthy way to color your hair. Anyway, I have never colored my hair with henna before, so we are going to learn together.
This is going to be very interesting. So she's never colored her hair with henna before, so I am very interested in see how she does on that.
And of course, no matter what henna you're using, make sure you read the instructions. Instead of water as the mixing medium, I will actually be using...
So she's absolutely right. You need to read instructions step by step, very detailed. You don't want to miss anything for sure, because it's very important.
Tea. This is because tea has a lower pH, it's a little bit more acidic. And because it does have a lower pH than pure distilled water, it will actually give your hair a more golden hue versus a...
So absolutely, you can use tea, but we recommend using coffee if you want like a darker color tone. If you want to go towards like a little bit lighter, so tea, or I use lemon juice because my hair is dark and burgundy does not show up like a drastic color, but I love how it shows up on my hair, you know, when I see the red hues. So I use lemon to get that lighter effect.
more burgundy hue. I'm going for the golden hair look, so that's exactly what I want, but if you do want a more true red color or even a more burgundy or deep purplish tone, I've linked a couple recipes in the description bar below where you can figure out how to achieve that when you're mixing up your henna. I'm also squeezing the juice of a whole lemon into my tea just to add a bit more acidity, again for the golden tones that I'm aiming for. Then when I'm ready to go, I'm just going to mix my henna with the tea that I brewed. The consistency that I was aiming for was kind of a really thick pancake batter consistency, or like kind of stirred up yogurt. And then when everything was all mixed together, I just covered it with some saran wrap and pressed it against the surface of the henna mixture. So
very nicely mixed. I love that she's using the saran wrap to cover it, but not just over the bowl, but she's actually pressing it in. That's very good method, like perfect. Love it.
That way, no moisture could escape. In order to activate and actually dye your hair, henna has to kind of sit and basically cure for a couple hours. I let my bowl sit for about 3 or 4 hours. Once it was done, I actually went upstairs and grabbed a little bit of leftover hair from my hairbrush and just applied the henna to it and wrapped it in a bit of saran wrap just to see kind of what color I was going to end up with.
I like this. She is doing a strand test to see what color it's going to show up before doing her actual whole hair. So that is a perfect method, taking hair from your brush, applying it on, leave it. Just keep in mind that the hair that's from the brush is going to be a little bit lighter than what it is actually going to be on your hair. Oh, I'm so happy she did this.
I let that sit in a warm place for another 2.5 or 3 hours and rinsed it out. I was pretty happy with the color that I was going to be getting from my strand test, so I went ahead and started to get my battle station ready. I laid down towels everywhere because henna is notorious.
I love that. She made sure she covered everything, and especially for first-time henna users, you want to make sure you cover your area in with newspaper. That is so perfect. So great.
And this particular henna recommended you apply it on clean, towel-dried hair. So I took a shower, I shampooed my hair, and I dried it just a little bit. I sectioned my hair off and I applied some lotion to my hairline and around my ears and on my neck, so that way the henna wouldn't stain my skin in those areas. And then I just...
Another perfect thing is that she used lotion, and we recommend using Vaseline around your crease areas because it does stain the skin. Henna does tend to stain the skin. So if you forget, and don't panic, don't worry, just don't try rubbing it off. Just give it a couple days and it will go away.
Started painting it on. Whenever I dye my hair, I like to focus on the roots because I find that roots are kind of the hardest spot to get for me. So I started with the hardest spot, which was basically at the nape of my neck. Little by little, I took tiny sections and painted the roots for just a couple inches or so down the length of my hair, and basically repeated that process all over my head. It's kind of hard to describe, so I just recommend watching this bit.
So, great method to start off with if you have an application brush. Now, obviously, you won't be able to do it with the whole brush. I just use my hands. But make sure you wear gloves because it does stain the skin. If you have someone to help you, that will be a double plus point. Make sure you section your hair, which she absolutely did a perfect job. And it's amazing. It doesn't look like this is her first time applying henna. So I am really, really impressed on this. Oh, make sure you do wear an old t-shirt because it does stain the clothes.
When my roots were all done, I was not about to paint the entire length of my hair with that little brush.
Can't.
So I just put on some gloves and I went to town, literally plopping it on the length of my hair and running it through with my fingertips. It was much faster this way, and I recommend doing it that way.
Yeah. Yep.
With the leftover henna that was left in the bowl, I kind of massaged it through my hair just to make sure everything was really super saturated.
I sometimes do that too.
Then I wrapped my hair up on top of my head with a bit of saran wrap, wrapped it up in a towel, and I actually just went to bed, making sure that my pillow was covered with a towel beforehand, just in case I had any accidents. Alright, so it is 10:30 in the morning now. I started the dyeing process at about 9:30 last night, and then I just went to bed. I tried to sleep on it, but it was so heavy and awkward on my head that I ended up getting a lot of neck pain as I was trying to sleep throughout the night. So I got up and took a shower and rinsed everything out at about 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning. So the henna was sitting on my head, in my hair, completely saturating it for about 3 to 4 hours, which is plenty long enough to get color payout.
That's what we recommend.
So this is the color that I ended up with after about 8 or 9 hours later.
Ooh.
The funny thing about henna is that the full true color of the henna itself and how it will stain your hair doesn't actually start to appear for at least a couple days after you dye it. So even right now, it's a little bit orangey in spots, particularly up by my scalp, because I'm sure my scalp got stained a little bit. The skin staining will fade after a few days, and at the same time, the color will develop an even deeper color. So, like I said, this is a few hours after the dyeing process. This is the color that I've ended up with so far. We're gonna check in a couple days and see what the color looks like then. Okay, so this is a couple days after I have colored my hair. You can see that my roots are a little bit oily. I have not actually washed it with shampoo since I've colored it. I've taken showers since I've colored it. I've rinsed everything out with a little bit of conditioner and some just warm water, but I haven't actually washed it with soap yet, just because I wanted to make sure that the color was settling as it should. And I'll probably actually take a shower tonight with shampoo, and we'll see how the color payout is tomorrow. But so far, I'm actually really, really happy with the color payout. I love the color I have gotten so far, and my roots are definitely a lot less orange, which is fantastic. I even colored my eyebrows a little bit, which might look a little bit orange because I actually did them a day after I hennaed my hair. So there's still a little bit more orange here than there is compared to my scalp. But now my eyebrows match my hair, so I'm happy with that. We'll probably do one more update once I wash my hair, so we can kind of compare colors once everything is complete. But this is after 3 days of not washing it, after hennaing it, and this is the color payout. Okay, so I think this is the final update for my hair. This is what it looks like after, I didn't wash it yesterday, but the day before yesterday, so it has been shampooed. My scalp is no longer a weird orange color, and I honestly really like the color that I've ended up with. It's a lot warmer, but it still looks pretty natural. I've noticed barely any bleeding in the shower at all. I think what I have noticed is just a little bit coming out when I was like shampooing it out for the first time, and I haven't noticed it since, which is amazing. My hair finally smells a little bit more neutral. Something that I didn't expect when dyeing my hair with henna was that it smelled a little bit like.
I am really, really impressed. I love how the color turned out, but super impressed the way she colored her hair step by step. Almost really just felt like someone told her. She's done it before, but it was just so perfect to the dot. Exactly what I look for, what I keep saying, you know, this is what you need to do to achieve that. I love how she followed the directions, especially after rinsing her hair. She did not use any shampoo. It's very crucial because your color does develop. It takes 3 days. Shampooing, you're supposed to wait between after 24 hours. You can shampoo between 24 to 48 hours. It matters a lot in the coloring process. So she did that. You saw how, you know, where the sunlight hits, how her color looks even more gorgeous. So that's what I love about henna. is you color it once, but anywhere you go, it's always like changing colors for you. I just love that. I loved watching this video. It has brought me joy, made my day. It's morning time when I'm doing this right now, so I'm so happy to see this video. Definitely check out her full video, and down below, let me know if you have any questions. Leave in the comment section down below, or you can email at sales@thehennaguys.com. Hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did. Till next time, bye.